Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome in to Game 2 of our broadcast. Roseburg and Willamette squaring off in a Southwest Conference doubleheader. Game 2 just a little ways away, although I think some of the rains have started to come out again, but it doesn't look to be delaying anything. We're just waiting for Game 2 to get ready to go here in just a little bit. Earlier this week on our Wednesday night interview show, we do this multiple times throughout the school calendar. When high school is in high school and UCC when they're in session. We run this Wednesday night program where we get a chance to talk with local student athletes around the Umpqua Basin and highlight some of the big accomplishments and achievements that they have throughout the year. On Wednesday night this last week, I talked with Brevin Harrison from the Roseburg Indians baseball team. I project that he is going to be our Game 2 starter here coming up. We'll confirm that here in a few. But I talked with him about last weekend's doubleheader sweep for Roseburg and his performance in Game 2 where he pitched all 9 innings in an extra inning game and got Roseburg the win. So I talked with Brevin Harrison. I'm going to play some of that back to you now here on our broadcast. We are streaming live online at 541radio.com, and we're here on the radio. Our live video stream is presented by the Cow Creek Tribe. This is the Roseburg Disposal pregame show, and we bring you this interview with Brevin Harrison. Tonight, he's coming off of his last start on the mound was something to behold, that is for sure. A complete game, 9-inning of victory against South Medford on the road last Saturday. Unfortunately, the Roseburg boys coming off of a tough loss at Sheldon yesterday. But Brevin joining us here to talk. We really wanted to have you on, Brevin, after that fantastic performance at South Medford to talk more about that. But we'll start off with yesterday's game. Tough one there against the Sheldon Irish. How are you guys feeling after a tough one on the road to finish out a long stretch of games away from home for you guys?
Well, the Noel Miller, pitcher for Sheldon, he's really good. And, obviously, but we're really happy that we got to see him and, know what's up with the other league games that's going to come up, and feel like we're really optimistic now and just got to get back to work,
Yeah. This is we talked about this at the start of the season. This is a Roseburg baseball club that has a lot of guys. It's not like you're necessarily young. There's a decent number of seniors, but a lot of guys that they haven't seen a lot of pitches at the varsity level, haven't been at the varsity level for a lot of reps at that side. Do you feel like you guys are kind of going through this season almost kind of having to prove to yourself that you guys can play at this level?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, like you said, we have a decent amount of young guys and haven't seen a bunch of pitches. So, it's just about how fast we can adapt to the better pitching and, prove to ourselves that, we can hit this better pitching and, better pitches and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it watching you guys play as much as I have throughout the season. I've definitely seen that this team can do it. I think sometimes making sure you guys remember that you can do it has been one of the big things. Speaking of doing it, last Saturday, Game 2 of a doubleheader is always a tough one, especially when you're on the road. The Southwest Conference has its unique scheduling setup where teams play a single on a Tuesday and a doubleheader on a Saturday. Game 2 is always tough, but somewhere in that gas tank there was an extra pocket because Brevin Harrison had it. He went 9 innings against South Medford for a complete game victory. That's extra innings for those that don't realize high school baseball is only 7 innings is what it's scheduled to be. Man, where did how'd you feel coming away from that one? Because watching you perform, I was shocked to see that you finished out that game. One, because the pitch count limits nowadays really make it tough for pitchers to go that deep in a game, but you were efficient and you were on it.
Well, let's just say, it was more of the legs when I was pitching. My arm wasn't completely in it. I just had to, just throw it where Paxton Burke, the catcher, was putting his glove. And I really had to, mentally focus. I really had to focus and, and just kept on dealing.
Yeah.
I guess, and it worked out. Defense worked.
Yeah, for sure. And the defense played great behind you, which really helped out. You guys able to play some pretty good defense that day. But that said, I was looking at it, speaking of the defense, if not for an error in the 7th inning, I think it was, I think you would have retired the last 10 batters in a row. And so things were going well for you. What pitches were working well for you on Saturday?
Well, my fastball was working. That's, fastball is such a huge deal to, throw for strikes. So, got that going. Slider was working a little bit, and those were the two main pitches that I've been throwing that, Zach Mandero has been calling. So, but it was mainly the fastball, just throw on the outside corner and, see if they swing and miss or defense make a play.
Yeah. Throw it on the outside corner and get ready to start playing some defense, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was fun to watch and great to see. You mentioned kind of just the mental aspect of being locked in and being able to really kind of dial it in. And, how much you mentioned Coach Zach Mandera, who's was a pitcher at Roseburg High School and had a lot of success on the mound through his years there throwing for the Indians. How much have you guys worked on that mental side of the game? Because not only did you need to be physically ready, but to go 9 innings, that you've seen guys come up to the plate 3, 4, 5 times in that game, you really had to be focused to try and kind of outwit guys and make sure that you didn't have a moment that kind of got away from you to let them back in. And, so how much have you worked on that mental aspect of the pitching game?
Well, it wasn't really like, Zach working with me about it. It was more of a personal thing, and Paxton was a big help. Like, after every single pitch, he kept on saying, "Work with me, Brev. Work with me. You got this, man." I'm like, dude, I got you, Pax. I got you. I'll keep on working with you.
After the game, I talked with Coach Tim Sester, who is, kind of serving as your guys' head coach right now, and he told me afterwards that, I asked him, did you guys kind of have a plan on going to the bullpen? What was kind of the thought in the dugout? And he said, you just kept saying, give me the ball. I got to finish it. I want the ball. That you weren't ready to give up on this one or let somebody else take it over. You wanted to keep having the ball. Is that how you remember this day going down?
If I was going to I was already pitching into the 7th inning. I'm like, let me just finish it. Like, they weren't really getting good hits off me, and I felt like, I just could keep on pitching and let the defense work, and see what happens after that. Just grind it out.
We're talking with Brevin Harrison, senior for the Roseburg High School baseball team. Hopefully won't need to go 9 innings to get a win this weekend, but I expect how's the arm feeling? I expect that we'll see you on the bump this weekend when you guys host Willamette.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Our arm, is kind of sore, but I've been taking my arm care pretty seriously right now.
Good.
And, it's been getting way better, so, yeah. I'm expecting to pitch on during the weekend.
Nice. Well, we're looking forward to seeing that. Roseburg hosting Willamette. It's a big matchup against the Wolverines, who have looked pretty good here to start out the season. They're currently sitting in first place, just a game ahead of Roseburg in the conference standings. Despite that loss against Sheldon on Tuesday, Roseburg still right there in it. It was a tough one. I know you guys had built some positive momentum after the sweep on the road against South Medford. A tough one to then go and lose against a very talented arm in Nolan Miller, a guy that has kind of had the team's number for the last year and a half. What did you guys talk about after the game, hopefully to try and kind of turn the page and kind of get you guys back into the right mindset going into this weekend's big matchup?
So we talked about just, swinging the bat more, we're, trying to get that perfect pitch against Nolan Miller, and it just, didn't really work out. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So, we just got to learn to, if it's swing at pitches are in the strike zone, it doesn't have to be right down the middle. And, it's just swinging it as hard as we can too. Yeah.
That is Brevin Harrison joining us there. We'll cut it off. You can go back and listen to the full interview with Brevin online at 541radio.com, and that is a part of our DC Sports Spotlight podcast. The show runs on Wednesday nights. You can always check out and find out when the show will be back on again for what Wednesday night. I don't believe we've got it coming up this Wednesday, but you can check out the sports schedule at 541radio.com or use the 541 Radio app. You can always check out what sports programming is coming up on the radio for us on online there. So Wednesday, we've got Oregon State baseball on Wednesday that we're going to be having coming up this week. So I believe it's the week after that we'll be back on the air with another DC Sports Spotlight. Rains are coming down pretty good here at the moment. I'm not sure if that's going to delay us with our start a little bit here, but we do have starting lineups, and we will continue to put those into the books. We're going to go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back and see where we're at on getting Game 2 underway here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
When the first Cascade branch opened in 1948, things were a lot different here. The fact they're still here says a lot about the way they do business.
Staying in business for 75 years requires the cooperation of generations. It's the desire to learn and grow with your community.
My account number is only 5 digits long. What that tells me is that this is a local credit union.
Cascade Community Credit Union would like to thank you for 75 years of growth and support here in Douglas County.
Well, it's definitely not dry here in the Umpqua Basin. That has been the case throughout the day, but it felt like maybe a couple innings in Game 1. It was significantly kind of coming down. There was a nice steady drizzle, but right now it is turned into, there are so many different ways we could really probably spend the next hour breaking down different ways you can kind of categorize what is happening when it is raining. Whether it's a drizzle, whether it's light, heavy, whether there's a rain, a downpour, you can really break down the specifics, and it could very well be unique to each and every individual. But I would say right now, it's raining. I would say this is kind of the medium portion of the scale between a drizzle, a downpour. It's raining. I think that's where we're at right now. It's pretty consistent coming down. I was down on the field a little bit ago, and it's wet down there, but the field is holding up at the moment. I think just kind of the bigger thing is that these aren't ideal conditions to be swinging a metal stick or trying to throw a small leather ball. So it's I think we're kind of in a bit of a holding pattern here at the moment. I don't know if anything officially has been made, but the officials have not come out of their locker room. The coaches have not met at home plate just of yet. So I think we're kind of hoping to see that this kind of subsides a little bit, diminishes some before we can get things going. I mean, they can definitely play in some wet weather, but it is not necessarily all that pleasant out there right now. Before we continue on here with our Roseburg Disposal pregame show for Game 2 of our doubleheader, that's Roseburg Disposal. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg Baseball on The Score. Game 1 of the doubleheader went to the Willamette Wolverines by a score of 5-0. Checking in around the rest of the Southwest Conference, down in Medford, North leading South 10-9 after 5 innings in a high-scoring affair from Jim Maccabee Field. So hopefully the weather holding out for them down in Medford. That is a dirt and grass field down in Medford at Jim Maccabee Field. So it may not be able to handle quite as much of precipitation as what we're getting here today. And this is the time of year where everybody gets to try and play amateur meteorologist. My phone is telling me that we are expecting this to start tapering off in the next 10 to 20 minutes. And in about 30 minutes, we're supposed to be dry. But it looks like rain, at least a potential chance for rain and through the 4 o'clock hour here in the Umpqua Basin, and then things drying out until late overnight. But right now, it's coming down pretty steadily, a decent little rain. If they were playing already, my guess is they would have continued playing through this. Maybe they would have taken a break to see if it would subside some. But the way it is right now, I think they would have played if they had been in action. But since they haven't started, I think they're waiting to see if they can let this dry out just a little bit or fade out here for us. Emergency vehicles going by. A great reminder that as the rains come down, it's always smart to give yourself a little extra space as you are driving around town. We haven't had a ton of rain as of late, so some of these roads haven't gotten completely. I mean, you get more of that buildup of the grease and grime on the roads, and then the water comes out and things get a little bit extra slick. So be careful out there, everybody. Hazy conditions here in the Umpqua Basin with lights overhead on here at Champion Car Wash Field. They've been on the entire day, as we have not really seen much indication that the sun is even out here at the moment on the West Coast. We've got starting lineups for both teams. Why don't we go ahead and get in another 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at your starting lineups for Game 2 of our doubleheader. Roseburg and Willamette in a bit of a holding pattern right now here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Mountain Mike's, pizza the way it ought to be.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors, at home or on the road, at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Game 2 of our doubleheader. Roseburg out warming up down the left field line, so that's a good sign that maybe we are getting closer to getting underway for Game 2 of our doubleheader. Joey Keyran here with you. This is the Roseburg Disposal pregame show for Game 2 of our twin bill. Roseburg getting loose and getting ready for the nightcap, looking to try and get at least one out of the two. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for Game 2 of our doubleheader. First for the visiting Willamette Wolverines. Miles Cox, the shortstop, will lead things off, followed by center fielder Tyson Rather. Batting third and starting at DH will be Joey Garboden. He will bat for right fielder Brody Garrett. At first base is J.C. Roberts, so he moves from behind the plate catching to go to first base. He will bat cleanup, followed by Jackson Dowdy, the pitcher for Game 2 of our doubleheader. Brody Butler is the third baseman here for Game 2. He will bat sixth. Playing in left field, batting seventh is Braden Rather. Catching for Game 2, Andrew Evans will hit eighth. And rounding out the starting nine will be the second baseman, Colin Robbins. That is a look at the starting lineup for Roseburg as we get ready for Game 2. Still, it's letting up slightly, but it's still coming down pretty decent. It's a heavy drizzle, I would say now. See, I told you, you could break it down in a lot of different ways. Heavy drizzle here at the moment at Champion Car Wash Field. But Roseburg out there warming up, getting ready for Game 2. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to keep this one close to on time here. We were scheduled to start at 2. At least that's always the posted second game time of the doubleheader. You can never really trust that 100%, but we look to be able to have the opportunity to maybe get started about on time before that heavy rain started to come through the region. For Roseburg, defensively in Game 2, they will have on the mound Brevin Harrison will be the starting pitcher for Roseburg here in Game 2. And let's see here. Brevin Harrison on the season. He had pitched a team-high 29 innings. Jake Johnson now has thrown a team-high 33 innings with his Game 1 start. Brevin Harrison will have a chance to pass him here in Game 2. 29 innings, making his 9th appearance. He's got 4 starts under his belt so far, a 2-2 record, a 3.14 ERA, 23 strikeouts, 8 walks for Brevin through the his 29 innings of work so far this season. Harrison will be on the mound. Catching will be Paxton Burke. Out at first base is Keegan Carpenter. At second base is Caden Austin. On the left side of the diamond, Jake Johnson will be at third. At shortstop will be Brooks Avery. In the outfield from left to right, Riley Cheney will get a start. He is a call-up from JV. Cheney will be out in left field to start Game 2. In center field will be Heath King, and in right field is going to be Dane St. Clair. So that is a look at the defense for Roseburg as they get ready for the second game of today's doubleheader. So that is a look at what's going to be coming up here when we get the first inning started. This is the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Let them make the run of the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Also, let's see here. I was going to tell you more about some of the other Roseburg events going on, Roseburg athletic events going on right now. As it feels like the rain has kind of actually picked up a little bit here, and it's gotten a little nastier out there. Yesterday, we had Roseburg softball. They swept Willamette, a no-hitter for Jasmine Morales in Game 1 of that twin bill, winning 2-0 in Game 1, and Roseburg then blowing out Willamette in Game 2, 17-2. Roseburg girls lacrosse, congratulations on moving to 4-0 on the season. They win 16-15 in overtime yesterday at Sheldon. They're now 4-0 on the season. Pretty impressive there. The Roseburg boys lacrosse team was at home yesterday. They were hosting the Thurston Colts. They scored the first goal of the game, made it 1-0. They were up 1-0 going to the second quarter, and then unfortunately it snowballed on them, and they found themselves down by quite a bit. They ended up losing 13-3 against Thurston yesterday. Going on over at the Roseburg track and field facility there at Finlay Field, it's the Jim Robinson Twilight Invitational. Got started this morning at 11 o'clock. Less than ideal conditions for them over there as well. I assume that they are competing through all of this, though. 27 teams here in Roseburg for the Jim Robinson Twilight Invitational. Always a big track and field meet hosted by Roseburg there. A lot of fun for that one. Unfortunately, just not the most ideal conditions to be able to be doing that in. But that is always a fun and exciting event hosted by Roseburg High School. So that's all going on here for Roseburg sports right now. Golf, tennis, all of those sports and activities as well. We're kind of waiting to see how things play out. Likely looking at maybe some individuals or doubles teams in tennis getting a chance to possibly make their way towards state. But we'll see how things go as the spring sports season continues on. Rains continue to come down. I think Coach Robert Cantwell making his way out of the dugout for Willamette up here into the stands underneath the cover. Kind of looks a little wet, to say the least. And Coach Thompson making his way out of the dugout. I think he might have been going over to try and talk with the Willamette Wolverines here. Find out what they're thinking about possibly game 2 here. Out of the dugout, Zach Mandera looking to the typical spot that you look to find out what the weather looks like, which is back behind us towards the west, looking from here at Champion Car Wash Field at Stewart Park, trying to glance back over towards what is, I guess, towards Looking Glass, over at the direction towards Harvard. That seems to be where the weather always tends to come from. But boy, it has been pretty consistent rain here. Coming up later today, and hopefully, I don't know what things are looking like up in Eugene and in, well, actually, I guess the Oregon Ducks, they actually were supposed to get their game started here earlier today. The Oregon Ducks baseball team, I believe they might be on the road. Yeah, they are. That actually says versus. They might be at home at PK Park. I think actually, now that I say that out loud, I do think that Oregon is at PK Park in Eugene, and Oregon State is at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field in Corvallis. So both teams at home, and unfortunately this weather's not great, so hopefully things are okay. I haven't heard anything about either of them possibly having changes to their schedules here today. But Oregon baseball was scheduled to start, I believe, at 2 o'clock against USC. Yeah, 2 o'clock start time for that one. So they were supposed to get underway about 15 minutes ago over on News Radio 93.9 FM and 1240 KQEN. You can catch Oregon Ducks baseball there. Oregon State baseball scheduled to start at 4:30 this afternoon here on The Score with pregame, and then first pitch of that game at 5 o'clock. Here tonight. We'll obviously be keeping an eye on whether or not that has any effect with the weather. And also our game, if we don't get things going here soon, we could also have the possibility of our game going a little bit later that might delay our chance getting you over there to Oregon State baseball in time. So right now we are in that holding pattern, trying to figure out what's going on for everybody and see what we can try and get done for you here today. As unfortunately it has been a bit sloppy out there. Both teams are out there still getting loose and warming up in the rain. If they're going to have to play in it, I guess they might as well get out there and get used to it. But yeah, this is not what everybody was hoping for here today. Let's see here. Oregon Duck baseball. No, it sure does look as if they are planning on going as scheduled for Oregon Duck baseball at PK Park in Eugene. No mention of a delay to the start of that, so we'll just go on that assumption. Again, that game right now should be going on News Radio 93.9 FM and 1240 KQEN. I'm Joey Kieran, filling time with you here while I've got it on the top of my head and thinking about it. You can watch today's games streaming at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel, 1490 The Score on YouTube. While you're there on YouTube, might as well hit the subscribe button. You can get notifications and you can get ease of access right to our feed of Roseburg High School sports, so you don't miss out on any chances to catch the Roseburg Indians in action, whether it's baseball. We've got plans to broadcast at least one more boys lacrosse game, and then we'll see kind of where things go the rest of the season. Might try to get in some playoff matchups there, but we'll have our broadcasts when we've got them. You can find it there on our YouTube channel and follow the action with us. So hit the subscribe button, give yourself the ease of access and the opportunity to follow all of the games with us here in the spring sports season. Well, at least we got one game in so far. I don't know what anybody's thinking about game 2 here at the moment, as the rains they haven't let up for about, let's see, we got this video stream started 30 minutes ago, so it's probably been a good 30 minutes that we have been kind of waiting things out here at the moment, and it has not really let up at any point. Let's see if we can try and get you a score update on what's going on down in Medford. North Medford and South Medford baseball. It is 11-9 right now. North Medford leading South Medford in the bottom. That can't be. Oh no, yeah, that is right. North Medford leading South Medford 11-9 in the bottom of the 6th, and it looks like somehow things are still dry down there. But North Medford adding 2 more runs, it looks like, to now take a 13-9 lead in the 6th inning of that one. So the Black Tornado handling business right now against South Medford there at Jim McAbee Field in Game 1 of that doubleheader. So 13-9 your score in that one. North Medford in front in the 6th inning. Why don't we go ahead and do this? Let's go ahead and take another quick break. Willamette and Roseburg in a rain delay right now. Game 2 hasn't gotten started, but we are waiting to find out if they're going to wait this out or maybe say we'll try to meet another day. It's always hard to try and find a spot to mix those in, but at least at the moment, if they did decide to postpone this, they would only have 1 game to make up versus trying to make up 2. Nobody wants to try and find a way to squeeze in a game somewhere else, but we'll see if they're able to try and put this one together at some point. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll take let's go ahead and we'll stack 2. We'll make it a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back here in just a few moments on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google-certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Well, I wish I could tell you I had something to tell you. At the moment, I do not. Does feel like things have brightened up, which maybe means that there is a little bit of parting of the clouds or a thinning of the clouds, which maybe could mean less rain. But at the moment, it's still coming down out there, and the field is, it can drain, but it's got to be collecting some water out there as of now. The officials, right now you've got Coach Thompson for Roseburg over in the dugout, talking with Coach Cantwell for Willamette. And a couple of the umpires have gone over that direction as well. I could see maybe they try to reschedule this for Monday as a possibility. I could see. I don't think there'd be UVC maybe would be playing here, but UVC usually they play a little later in the day anywhere, so you can maybe stack up a doubleheader between if they've got a home game. I don't know. Kenny, is UVC here on Monday? They don't play again here until Friday, so I guess Monday more than likely. I don't think anybody's going to be here. UCC baseball, they're on the road to Lynn Benton today, trying to see if they can get 2 games against the Roadrunners up there after losing 2 at home here on what that would have been back on Thursday, I believe. And that big series between the top 2 teams in the South region. So it sounds like Monday could be an available date for the field here, but obviously I am just spitballing and filling airtime. I don't know if anybody's making a decision on anything. There's look like some clapping and some celebrating down there in the Willamette dugout. I'm just kind of trying to read body language and see if I can garner any sort of information. Still coming down pretty good. Guys aren't putting anything away as of yet. So looks like everybody over there is kind of waiting with bated breath as well, trying to figure it out. We'll see here as we're about at 25 minutes on the rain delay. We were probably expected to start about 2 o'clock. So at the moment, it hasn't been that long, but the question is, will it let up enough for us to be able to get this in? And now Coach Thompson and Coach Cantwell are out of the dugout talking to each other rather than under the cover in the dugout. So we'll continue to wait and see. At the moment, none of the body language is indicating anything to me. Over in the Roseburg dugout, everybody's still kind of hanging around waiting on instruction as well. Roseburg baseball, our coverage of Roseburg High Sports. This is the Roseburg Disposal extended pregame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Roseburg High Sports also sponsored here on the radio by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. Willamette is out of the dugout. And meeting down the, well, and there goes Brevin Harris into the bullpen. So I think we're going to get some baseball here. The raindrops have kind of slowed a little bit, but it looks like we're still planning on going and getting game 2 in here. My phone is saying that there is some rain expected to start in about 30 minutes. Right now we're in a bit of a cell. It does look like it's going to maybe break up here in just a little bit. Let's see if I can extend this. What can I do here on my phone? Next 12-hour forecast. Oh, it looks like maybe late tonight around 10 o'clock it's supposed to start really clearing up, but Roseburg's out running running out down the left field line. Willamette has met, and they've broken their huddle. So it looks like we're starting to kind of gear up for some baseball here. About to get things underway, so stand by. We are just about, I think we're just about there, ready for some baseball here this afternoon. Game 2 of a doubleheader. Roseburg won game 1, or excuse me, Willamette won game 1, 5-0 over Roseburg. Does feel sunnier here at the ballpark, which, yeah, the rains have started to let up, so I guess everybody waiting on the weather to improve. Looks like they made the right call in thinking that it would. But how much longer do we wait till we get this one started? I don't have the answer for you on that one. Well, Roseburg will have a game. Their next game will be Tuesday as of right now. Tuesday here at home against North Medford. For Willamette, their next game is going to be on the road to Medford, taking on South Medford. That is the next scheduled game for these two teams, and they're both scheduled to play on Tuesday, so I'm sure that the coaching staffs for both sides would prefer to not be playing on Monday in a makeup game, but neither team is scheduled for anything prior to Tuesday. So we've got that. Taking a look at the Masters. That is going on in Augusta, Georgia, where the weather's, at least it hasn't been wet, but it sure has been windy out there. Right now, boy, the leaderboard is stacked with guys at the top. You've got 5 golfers tied at 6 under right now. That includes Bryson DeChambeau, who started the day. I believe he was at 6 under to start the day and at first place. You've also got, that is Nikolai Hogard. He is at 6 under. Max Homa at 6 under. And then Ludwig Aberg is at 6 under, and so is Colin Morikawa. So you got 5 guys tied at 6 under. Scotty Scheffler, 2 back. He is 2 over for the day. Started the day tied at 6 under and tied for first place. So he is currently 2 back of the leading pack in the Masters going on in Georgia. Well, here come our umpires. And it looks like we're going to have some baseball here shortly. Let's see here. Tiger Woods, by the way, he did make the cut. His 24th consecutive cut made. But where is he at? He was started the day, I think, at 2 over. And he, rough day for Tiger. He shot 10 over today at the Masters, and Tiger is, so he was 1 over to start the day. Tiger's now 11 over, over par for his 3 rounds at the Masters. Tough one there. 10 over today. Dang. So that's another check of your scoreboard. All right, coaches have exchanged their lineup cards, and I think we're going to get some baseball here. The rains have
ladies and gentlemen, thank you
held off now.
We're going to play game number 2.
It looks like not a lot coming down at the moment. Hopefully we can get this game 2 done before it starts opening up once again on us later this afternoon. Roseburg coming off of the 5-0 loss to Willamette will look to try and get game 2 here coming up.
All right, here we go. Roseburg taking the field.
And Willamette will look to try and get a sweep on the road and really build a lead for first place in the conference. Willamette has changed out to maroon tops. They are maroon pinstripe tops. They still have the black trousers on. Roseburg still wearing the home whites for the white pinstripes here at Champion Car Wash Field. Well, we told you the starting lineup for Willamette a while ago, but that was when we thought we were about to get playing, and that was about 20 minutes ago. So let's run through it again. Miles Cox will lead things off, the shortstop, followed by Tyson Rather in center field. Joey Garbodin is the DH, batting third, hitting for starting right fielder Brody Garrett. The first baseman, J.C. Roberts, will bat fourth, followed by Jackson Dowdy, the pitcher. Brody Butler is at third base, batting sixth. Braden Rather in left field will bat seventh, hitting eighth, and starting at catcher is Andrew Evans. And Colin Robbins, the second baseman, will bat ninth for the Wolverines. On the mound for Roseburg here in Game 2, Brevin Harrison will look to get his second consecutive win after a complete game 9-inning victory in Game 2 of a doubleheader at South Medford last Saturday. They will hopefully get another quality start out of Harrison here today as they battle through the rains, but things are cleaning up just a little bit for us here this afternoon. Curious question is going to be, what is the field like? Obviously, the turf can handle some water.
Game number 2 will be the shortstop, number 1, Miles Cox.
But is there any pooling under the top surface, and how slick is it out there? It'll definitely be interesting to find out how that all plays out. All right, first pitch of the ball game is in, and it's low. Ball one. Well, your patience has paid off, folks. We're getting baseball, so here we go. The 1-0 pitch from Harrison bounces in front of the plate for ball two. A 2-0 pitch. Misses. 3-0. So trying to get his feet underneath him out there, quite literally. Another one low, and that's a leadoff walk issued by Brevin Harrison. Just trying to get settled out there on the mound after this lengthy delay. One on, nobody out.
Next batter, center fielder number 4, Tyson Rather.
It'll be Tyson Rather to hit, left-handed batter. Things have brightened up quite a bit here. The lights are on, but the sun is able to kind of leak through. As the runner going on the first pitch. Throw out there. Got him on the tag. Miles Cox can't believe that he got called out. A great scoop at second base by shortstop Brooks Avery. He had to get the tag down, and I think that Cox felt as if either the tag wasn't in time or that he didn't get a tag on him at all as he had to reach for it. It's an 0-2 count now as the first pitch was called for a strike. Rather takes strike two. And now it's an 0-2 pitch here from Harrison. That one bounces in front of home. So coming up big there. That's a couple of runners thrown out now by Paxton Burke behind the plate. The 1-2 delivery. Ooh, just outside. Burke tried to appeal to the third base umpire on whether or not there was a check swing there. Does not get any help. 2-2. Fouled away. Behind the plate, Paxton Burke catching in game two here once again. Keegan Carpenter out at first. Caden Austin at second. Left side, it's Jake Johnson at third and Brooks Avery at short. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball off speed. 2 hops over to Caden Austin. His over-the-top throw gets to Carpenter for the second out. 2 away, nobody on base. Up to bat will be Joey Garbodin, the DH. Had a good game one.
The designated hitter, number 28, Joey Garbodin.
Harrison trying to make it through a clean first inning after a leadoff walk. Runner cut down trying to steal. And Harrison out there, he's been short on a lot of pitches, trying to get dialed in here. A 1-0 count for Garbodin. Garbodin with a double in game 1. Another low pitch, 2-0 count. Just getting started, game 2 here, about a 30-minute delay because of the rains. 2-0 count. In just under the belt buckle for a called strike. Final score from Medford. North beats South Medford 15-11 in game 1. So North Medford getting a needed win there after losing 2 against Willamette last weekend. Strike taken on the 3-1 pitch, inside corner at the knees. Garbodin, a full count pitch coming up. With that win, North Medford goes to 3-3 in conference play. 3-2 pitch, line drive to left field. Going to take a one hop out there to Riley Cheney, who is making the start in left field. Cheney getting the call up from the JV team and getting into the lineup here today. That'll be the first hit for Willamette here in game 2. A 2-out single to left field for Garbodin. J.C. Roberts will bat. He was dangerous in game 1. J.C. Roberts with 2 hits, a double and a single. He drove in a run and scored twice. Takes for ball 1. Brevin trying to get dialed in here in the first inning. A lot of warm-up pitches thrown. As a pitch in front of the plate, throw to second, won't get it out of the hand for Paxton Burke. Did a great job of making sure that ball didn't get by, but he couldn't quite get it out of his hand down to second base in time to get the runner. So Garbodin takes second. J.C. Roberts at the plate, a 2-0 pitch. Elevated. 3-0 count. Today's contest brought to you by Dr. Lanson Randall, Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Visit drrandall.com or call him at 541-378-6694. 3-0 pitch, down the middle for a strike. Waiting on deck is Jackson Dowdy, the pitcher for game 2. 3-1 delivery out of Harrison. Bounces in front of home, walks another one. That is his second walk issued here in the first inning. I don't know if it's anything with the condition of the mound because of the rain, just because of the rain in general. Maybe the balls are a little slick. But so far, Brevin has been struggling trying to get it 60 feet 6 inches to the dish. First pitch is fouled away. Strike 1 for Jackson Dowdy. Just a lot of balls getting down. And I mean, he's trying to stay low in the zone. I get that, but he has bounced in quite a few there at the plate, and it doesn't feel quite like what we've seen out of Brev. 0-1 pitch. Another one bounces low. A nice job to block that one and keep it in front for Burke. That holds the runners at first and second. A 1-1 count for the 5-hitter. Looking to help his own cause here, Jackson Dowdy. He was hitting in the cleanup spot in game 1. He drew 1 walk but went 0-for-3. He grounds one left side. He'll have a base hit there. Riley Cheney going to get a chance to show off the arm. Throws to the plate. In time! What a play to the plate by the left fielder, Riley Cheney. For the final out, it'll keep it scoreless as Joey Garbodin thrown out at home by a couple of steps. The throw perfect from Cheney out in left field. We go to the bottom of the first. It's scoreless. Roseburg coming up to bat. We'll run through their lineup when we return here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Riley Cheney with a play out of left field to cut down a runner at home and finish things off in the top of the first inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base for Willamette in the first. Go to the bottom of the first inning. Roseburg coming up to bat. Their lineup, Brooks Avery leading things off, the shortstop, followed by Paxton Burke at catcher. In right field, Dane St. Clair will bat third, followed by third baseman Jake Johnson. The pitcher, Brevin Harrison, batting 5th. The first baseman, Keegan Carpenter, will hit 6th. Riley Cheney, the left fielder, batting 7th. At second base, hitting 8th is Caden Austin, and Heath King in center field will round out the starting 9. On the mound for Game 2, it is Jackson Dowdy, right-hander. He will look to try and keep this game scoreless between Roseburg and Willamette. The Indians trying to get their first run of the day. Pitch low for ball 1, and we're underway here in the bottom of the first. Today's game brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? The 1-0 pitch outside. Jackson Dowdy throwing into Andrew Evans behind the plate. Outside again, 3-0 count. Brooks did have a walk in Game 1, and he will take a walk here in Game 2 as the sun is starting to poke through. And you can see in some of the darker areas, mainly I can see it at home plate, you can kind of see the steam rising off of the field. Kind of an interesting effect there. The evaporating moisture off of the turf. 1 on, nobody out. Up to bat is going to be Paxton Burke. They play with the third baseman in, expecting a bunt here. The pitch inside, and Dowdy has not found the strike zone as of yet. Avery on at first. Big lead out there. There he goes. It's in for a strike. Throw to second. Won't get there in time. 1 hops into the shortstop. Cox applying the tag on the back of Brooks Avery. Avery was the one that tagged out Cox in the first inning when he stole, and he was surprised that he got called out. 1-1 count at the plate for Burke, now a man in scoring position. Dowdy on the rubber. Righty versus lefty. Misses low and inside. Stolen base for Avery. Two balls, 1 strike. Bouncing in again there for Dowdy, and both pitchers so far it feels like have been struggling to try and find the strike zone. In the top of the first inning, Brevin Harrison missing in the dirt in front of the plate a number of times, and so far Jackson Dowdy's been low as well. It's got a 3-1 offering to Burke, and there's ball 4, back-to-back walks here in the first inning. Two walks issued to the top 2 hitters in the lineup for Roseburg. Looks like Burke will run for himself at first. No courtesy runner for the catcher in this one. Dane St. Clair will bat. Two on, nobody out. St. Clair takes a breaking ball that slices into the lefty for strike 1. J.C. Roberts out at first. Looking around the diamond here at second base is Colin Robbins. The 0-1 pitch, squaring to bunt now for Dane. He lays it down, looking to go to third, thrown away, and that'll bring in a run for Roseburg. Doughty throws it into the bullpen down the left field side. 2 runs will score. St. Clair going to third. Nobody's there. He's in, and Roseburg's got 2 on the board, getting something started. That'll be an error on Jackson Doughty. The bunt went right back to him. He made what I would say would be not necessarily a poor decision on trying to get the lead runner, but he spun the long way to try and get himself set up to throw to third, rushed the throw, threw it low. I don't think he was going to get Brooks Avery at third anyways, and he could have just taken the automatic out at first, thrown to get St. Clair. Instead, throws it away at third, and Brooks Avery easily scoring. Paxton Burke came around to score all the way from first, and Dane St. Clair goes all the way to third. And it's a 2-0 lead. Roseburg on top here in the first inning, their first runs of the day. So that's a fielder's choice, and then I guess an E1 is what I would put in my book.
17, Jake Johnson.
So an error here in the first inning for Willamette. Roseburg takes advantage. They are on top 2-0. Nobody out still, and Jake Johnson at the plate. A chance to try and add another one with Dane St. Clair at third. Ground ball towards short. Coming in is St. Clair. Cox will go to first, and we'll get Jake Johnson, but Jake puts the ball in play and drives in a run. 1 out. Roseburg's on top now 3-0.
Next batter will be the pitcher, number 9, Brevin Harrison.
Brevin Harrison will now look to try and keep it going. Nobody on, 1 away. First pitch swinging for Brevin. Pops it up in the air, shallow center field. Calling for it will be Tyson Rather. Makes the play for the second out. So 2 down. Keegan Carpenter, the first baseman.
First baseman. Number 4, Keegan Carpenter.
Carpenter did not have an at-bat in game 1. No, he did. Fouls off the first pitch, strike 1. Came in defensively when they made a pitching change at first base in game 1. Got 1 at-bat, grounded out to third. So his second at-bat for the day. Starting at first base here in game 2. The 0-1 pitch. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Carpenter comes through. First hit of the game for Roseburg. A couple of walks led off the game, then an error, and now Roseburg with a hit. On base is Keegan with 2 away.
Next batter, the left fielder, number 16.
That'll bring up Riley Cheney, the sophomore. First time I've seen him, and this will be just his second plate appearance of the year. As a pickoff throw to first. Cheney starting in left field, had the huge defensive play, throwing out the runner from left field at home. Takes high and inside for ball 1. Cheney, I had to look up the JV roster, is a sophomore. Is the sun really coming out now, brightening things up? Now Cheney looking to try and make a difference with the bat in his hand. Low and outside. If he could follow up what he did defensively with a good day at the plate here, could start finding a way to work himself into more action at the varsity level as the season goes on. 2-0 pitch. Inside. He's got himself a 3-0 count. First base is Keegan Carpenter with 2 away. On the mound, Jackson Doughty. His 3-0 pitch. High and inside, ball 4. That'll be third walk here in the first inning for Doughty. Keegan Carpenter moves to second. And the 8-hitter, Caden Austin, will stand in. So far, Roseburg with 3 runs in on just 1 hit. There has been an error so far for the Wolverines. Also 3 walks here in the first inning. First pitch, a strike to Austin. Out at second base, Keegan Carpenter. Decent wheels, might be able to score on a base hit. Ground ball, slow roller through the left side, picked up by Dowdy. His throw to first, he airmails it. It goes to the fence, and Carpenter will easily score. They've got the runner around at third. Back to the bag will go Cheney. And another run in on another throwing error by Jackson Dowdy, who started at third base in game one. It's not like throwing from the infield positions is a foreign concept for him, so he is struggling out there a little bit with the mental aspect of the game. He picks up his second error. Roseburg picks up a fourth run. Heath King, the ninth hitter, will bat. And he takes low for ball one. Cheney went first to third on that one. Caton Austin gets to second base. Second and third, 2 away. 9 hitter at the dish, way high and outside to the lefty. That was just a little infield tapper. The Jackson Dowdy fielded easily, but sent it way high to first, and he bounces that one just past the shins of Heath King. He didn't move at all. Somehow that inside pitch did not get him. A 3-0 count for the 9-hitter, waiting on deck, the top of the order. 3-0 pitch. Dowdy will get the call. A 3-1 count here for Heath King. Looking to try and find a way on base and get Brooks Avery up for a second time. Swing and a miss. Full count pitch. Nobody on at first, so the runners will not be taking off on the pitch to the plate. 3-2, swung on and missed. King goes down swinging. Strikeout for Jackson Dowdy to finish off the first inning, but a couple of throwing errors by the pitcher will be costly. Roseburg, 4 runs across on just 1 hit, 2 errors for Willamette, 2 runners left on base for the Indians. Crooked number on the board. Roseburg leads 4-0 going to the top of the second on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Brevin Harrison will face Brody Butler to start things off here in the second inning. First pitch, strike 1. Brody Butler, Braden Rather, and Andrew Evans, your 3 hitters due up. The 0-1 pitch, chopped up the middle. Avery at second. The shortstop throws to Carpenter at first. And there's 1 away. As we start the second inning here, Brevin Harrison with a chance to kind of work with he has the chance, obviously, to work with a lead here, which Roseburg did not have in game 1. So that maybe can settle him in a little bit. He fires in a first pitch, strike 1. Another called strike. Quickly an 0-2 count here for Braden Rather. Brevin Harrison, 0-2 pitch, bounces in front of the plate. Well, he looked sharper until about that moment here in the second inning, but hopefully just a blip for him there. things drying out a bit. As mentioned, you could see the evaporating water off the turf. Is another ground ball, a high bounding grounder to Brooks Avery. And on target across the diamond to Keegan Carpenter at first. There's 2 away.
Next batter will be the catcher, number 13, Andrew Evans.
Inside, called strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. Ooh, that looked right down the middle. Misses just a bit. 1-1 count. Fouled back. 2 away with nobody on. A couple of ground ball outs to short so far for Roseburg. Andrew Evans, the catcher, at the dish. And he will take a ball that bounces about 6 feet in front of the plate. Colin Robbins, the second baseman, waits on deck. He's the 9 hitter. Two. That ball hit out towards the alley in right center. It's going to get down and it's going to roll. Around to second will go Evans. King will get it. Fires in. Avery has it. Throw to third. Not in time. A 2-out triple for Andrew Evans. Finds the alley in right center. That will do the job of... That'll do the job of trying to fire up the Willamette Wolverines. After a bit of a tough first inning for them defensively. We'll see how that might turn things around. There's still 2 outs, needing 1 more. Brevin Harrison will face the 9 hitter, Colin Robbins. Runner at third. That's the 3rd hit of the game for Willamette as Robbins swings through the first one. The 0-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. The 0-2 pitch, strike 3, got him, froze him on the outside corner. Big strikeout to finish things off here in the second. After giving up the triple, Roseburg able to get through the second inning, hanging on to the 4-0 lead. First strikeout in the game for Brevin Harrison. Strikeouts brought to you by Chris Hubbard, State Farm Insurance. Go to the bottom of the second. Roseburg leads 4-0. A man left at third for the Wolverines here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
I've always handled my own finances, but I need help.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Mountain Mike's, pizza the way it ought to be.
Bottom of the second inning. Today's game brought to you by Flyway Travel. You can contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Make sure you have an agent in your corner. Call 541-672-5701. Jackson Dowdy out for his second inning of work. Up to bat for Roseburg, top of the order after 9 hitters went to the plate in the first inning. Brooks Avery will bat. Led off the bottom of the first with a walk and eventually scored after a throwing error by Jackson Dowdy. They'll play in with Brody Butler at third. Avery slashes at the first one, fouls it out of play over the right side. Probably not a bad idea to play with the third baseman in with Avery at the plate. He can lay down a bunt. He's quick down the line, but he also can hit the ball pretty well too. Does have a home run on the season. The 0-1 pitch to him. Hits the top of the zone with a curveball. Oh-2 count. Dowdy delivers. That ball belted in the air right side. Drifting foul. Hooking into the bullpen and over the fence out of play. That'll stay an 0-2 count here for Avery. Let's go ahead and, while we reset, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg Baseball here on The Score. Oh-2 pitch fouled back by Avery, stays alive. Roseburg leading 4-0 here in the bottom of the second. The at-bat battle will continue here. Dowdy into his windup, misses outside. Overthrows a little bit there. 4 runs in the first inning on just 1 hit and 2 errors. There were 3 walks issued by Dowdy. Bounces one in the dirt off the mask of Evans and away. 2-2 count. Two pitch here for Brooks Avery. Grounder towards short. Miles Cox squares it up, throws to first, and on the bag, J.C. Roberts makes the play to retire Brooks. 1 down. That'll bring up Paxton Burke. Reached on a walk in the first inning and scored. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. Here at Champion Car Wash Field, where the turf very much coming into play today with all the weather we've gotten. Ball fouled back by Burke. That one off the backstop, rolls up the netting and down. 0-2 count. Dowdy doing a better job of getting ahead of hitters here in the second inning than he did in the first. Roseburg trying to start seeing the ball drop in for some hits. High and away, 1-2 count in that first inning. Keegan Carpenter with a single, the only hit. He had the first hit of the game there for the Indians. The 1-2. Backed him up off the plate. That pitch didn't miss by much. Burke backing off the dish, has the 2-2 count now. He hugs that inside corner, so it doesn't need to be a... He could be buzzed back, and it could still be a strike as he's right on top of the plate on that inside corner. Fouls off the pitch, stays alive with a 2-2 pitch coming here from Dowdy. Chops it first base side. Fielded by the second baseman, underhands to Roberts. Robbins will get it there in time. 2 down.
That is number 13, Dane St. Clair.
That brings up Dane St. Clair. Dane had a tapper back to the mound that was fielded by Dowdy, and actually he laid down a bunt. That's what it was, laid down the bunt. Now he'll rip one out towards center on the run. That ball's over the head of Tyson Rather all the way to the fence as St. Clair rounds for second. They're going to give him the signal. He's heading for third. The relay throw will not be there. It is cut off, and it's a 2-out triple for Dane St. Clair. A 2-out triple for Willamette in the top of the second. Went for naught. Roseburg's looking to try and not follow that as Dane will get the extra base hit. Sent that one over the head of Tyson Rather to the deepest part of the park, hitting off the fence just under that 385 sign in center. Dane at third. Jake Johnson trying to bring him in. Takes a breaking ball outside. Second hit of the ball game for Roseburg for Dane. That'll be his second triple of the year. The 1-0. Bounces. Dane thought about it and then disappointed he didn't break as soon as he could have. He hesitated for a moment. That ball got a little bit further away than he was expecting it. He holds at third. Not the worst thing. That ball didn't get completely away, but it did roll over towards the first base dugout. Jake pops one up out towards center, going back rather. This time he will have time to set up underneath it, and he will be there to squeeze it. So the final out made in deep center field after a triple by St. Clair. He's left stranded on base. No runs, one hit, no errors, one man left on. Still Roseburg 4, Willamette nothing as we go to the top of the third here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Roseburg trying to work a split here at home against Willamette after losing game 1 5-0. They lead 4-0 here as we start the third inning of game 2. Got a little bit of a late start because of the rains in between game, about a 30-minute delay. So we're not as far along as you might have thought we would have been here at this point in the afternoon. First pitch fouled off by the leadoff man, Miles Cox, against Brevin Harrison for a second time. Cox walked in the first inning. The 0-1 from Brevin misses high. It'll be the 1-2-3 hitters due up here in the third. Ground ball right at Brooks Avery. Has time to set up and throw. One away. Busy game 2 for Brooks Avery at shortstop. So far, he has he's answered the call. That is 3 putouts for Avery. Had 2 in the second. Starts things off here in the third with a putout. Squaring to bunt and fouled off by Tyson Rather for strike 1. Tried to deke everybody there. Had a big high leg kick as he went into the pitch and then quickly turned and got the foot down, turned and squared the bat up, but just got a piece of it. Fouls it away. That brings in Jake Johnson at third. Swinging away, fouling off again, rather, 0-2 count. The count against the 2-hitter, Tyson Rather. The lefty gets underneath one, out to left field. Calling for it is Cheney, and Riley Cheney makes the catch, the sophomore. Put out there in the hot corner in the outfield. And he is coming through. I don't know for sure. I'm not there during the spring break games, so don't have that for you. But now they're sending everybody off. There might have been lightning is the only thing I can think of why we're doing this right now. Lightning, which means delay. So before a pitch to Joey Garboden, the DH, we will get a lightning delay here in the top of the third inning. So I think the soonest we can start. I can't remember if it's 20 or 30 minutes. George, 30 minutes? That's what I was thinking too, which would mean 3:40 would be the next time we'd be able to get on the radio or get back into this game. So here we go. Let's go ahead and take. We're going to make this an extended break here. Let's go ahead and make this a 3-minute timeout. We'll come back as we go into a lightning delay now for Roseburg and Willamette in the top of the third with 2 outs, nobody on base, and Roseburg leading 4-0. We will keep an eye on this. Hopefully, it's just the one, and we don't see anything more because it will reset every time there is a. Let's cover this here real quick. Your lightning delay procedure, when they see one, they're supposed to stop the game, as they did, and then it's a delay. 30 minutes is what we're going to go off of here. And then if there are subsequently more lightning strikes, every time you see another lightning strike, you reset the clock for a 30-minute delay. So these can sometimes be lengthy if they go on for any period of time. Dark clouds have started to roll back in here at Champion Car Wash Field. We had rains in between games. It was coming down pretty steadily, but then the sun had actually broken out, and we were getting some pretty decent sunshine peering through the clouds, but unable to keep it going. And now the darker clouds have rolled in again. That kind of sounded like I might have maybe heard some thunder off in the distance, or some thunder. So here we are. We are in a holding pattern. We'll see how this one continues on. Unfortunately, we're only in the third inning. Need 5 innings to make it complete. So there we go. We'll take a 3-minute break here. Back in the studio, Braden, just go ahead and stack a couple of breaks here. We can repeat them as we need to, but we'll take a 3-minute break here and come back. From Champion Car Wash Field, we're in our second delay getting Game 2 underway, this time due to lightning. Back after this on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google-certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
into a lightning delay, about 6 minutes into a lightning delay here at Champion Car Wash Field in Game 2 of a doubleheader between Roseburg and Willamette. We started probably about 30 minutes later than we would have if it hadn't been for rain in between games, but the rain delay pushed us back to about a 2:30 start. It was a little after 2:30 when we got things underway. And here at 3:10 is when they called the players off the field. That is about when we started this lightning delay. I do believe it is a 30-minute window that you are required to take. And then if you haven't seen another lightning strike during that period, you can get back out to play. But anytime you see a lightning strike, you are required to then reset the clock and wait another 30 minutes until you can get back to action. So, unfortunately, this is where we stand currently, is a lightning delay here from Champion Car Wash Field. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Game 1 went to Willamette 5-0. And now Roseburg leading 4-0 here in Game 2 as we're in the top of the third with 2 out, nobody on base, but waiting on things to resume here at Champion Car Wash Field. We told you, we took a look at the Roseburg High School athletic calendar a little bit here earlier on while we were waiting through that rain delay. Yesterday, Roseburg softball gets 2 wins against the Willamette Wolverines, 2-0 in a complete game no-hit shutout for Jasmine Morales. She allowed no hits, 2 walks, and 1 runner did technically reach on an error, but then on that same error tried to take second base and was thrown out there. So really only 2 runners getting on base in that game against Jasmine Morales, but a throwing error on a bunt allowed a runner to technically get on, but then thrown out at second. So a very strong performance yesterday on the softball diamond for the Roseburg girls. Yesterday, Roseburg girls lacrosse picking up a 16-15 win in overtime. That one at Sheldon High School. They improved to 4-0 on the year. Also yesterday, Roseburg boys lacrosse, they dropped a game to Thurston. That was 13-3, the final score in that one. Also going on in Roseburg sports this weekend, track and field over at the Jim Robinson Twilight Invitational. That got started at 11 o'clock this morning. 27 teams in action at that one. Hopefully, I don't know if they noticed a lightning strike over there, but apparently somebody, one of the officials saw one here at Champion Car Wash Field. So not sure if they're holding a mandatory break in the action over there. But from the Twilight Invitational, Roseburg's Timothy Johnson winning the 1,500-meter race there. Timothy has had a fantastic season this year for Roseburg. Timothy Johnson from Geneva Academy, but running for Roseburg Track and Field, and he has had some big wins in the long-distance races this year. So great to see that for Roseburg, and hopefully he will continue that. I believe he ran at state last year. Hopefully he'll be one of the top contenders in those long-distance races coming up this year at the state meet. But Timothy winning earlier today there at the 1,500 meters at the Jim Robinson Twilight Invitational. Congratulations to Timothy winning in that one. We are currently in a weather delay here, Roseburg and Willamette waiting. This is a weather-related delay. It is lightning that is holding things up for us here at the moment. We did find out that North Medford beat South Medford in Game 1 of their doubleheader in conference play. A little earlier, it was 15-11, North beating South. That was 8-8 after, in the third inning. It was 8-8. And I think North added a couple of runs in the bottom of the third in that one. High-scoring affair there from Jim Maccabee Field in Medford. Roseburg will be taking on North Medford in their next game coming up on Tuesday. At least that's what we assume to be our next game. Who knows if we end up having to remake this game up at some point here. It is starting to get kind of dark out there again. But, yeah, here we are. So we'll keep an eye. We'll see if we can get some score updates on Game 2 of that doubleheader between North Medford and South Medford. South Eugene and Grants Pass also squaring off here today. Those were two teams directly behind Roseburg in the standings. So if Roseburg can pull off a win here in Game 2 of this doubleheader against Willamette, that would give the Wolverines their second loss in the league standings and Roseburg their fifth win, and things would start to jumble up a little bit in the Southwest Conference standings. To start the day, Willamette was leading the way at 5-1. Roseburg was at 4-2, one game behind. Grants Pass at 3-2. South Eugene at 3-4. North Medford at 2-3, tied with South Medford at 2-3, and then Sheldon at 1-5. At the bottom of the standings right now, the lowest ranked team on the OSAA Power Rankings, the lowest ranked team was South Eugene at number 35. Then you've got Sheldon, South Eugene at number 35, but 3-4 in league play. They were right there at the middle of the pack, despite being the lowest ranked team. Sheldon at number 32, South Medford at number 31, Roseburg at number 22, Grants Pass at number 28. North Medford at 13 and Willamette at number 11 in those power rankings. There's still a long ways to go on those, and Roseburg would definitely like to see their number increase if at all possible. They've played a lot of top-ranked teams in the coaches' polls, so you got to think that that will work in their favor, at least helping their strength of schedule as we go along. Did confirm that it is a 30-minute mandatory delay. I knew that it resets every time there's another strike noticed, but I wasn't sure if it was truly a 30-minute delay or not. So that would mean that I think our earliest that we can get back up and going would be at 3:40. I'm pretty sure it was 3:10 when that first one was noticed, barring any additional lightning strikes that come down that would reset the clock. We're in a lightning delay here at Champion Car Wash Field. Roseburg leading 4-0 in the top of the third. Willamette with 2 outs. As we make our way through Game 2, it's going to be an adventure here trying to get this second one in. Lights are on. The dark clouds are hanging overhead. Let's go ahead and take another timeout here. We are 14 minutes, about halfway through on this lightning strike delay. We'll take a look at the weather radar when we come back and see if we can garner anything from that. And we'll see what else fun things we can talk about here during a lightning delay. We'll take a quick time out. We'll come back here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you can be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
When the first Cascade branch opened in 1948, things were a lot different here. The fact they're still here says a lot about the way they do business.
Staying in business for 75 years requires the cooperation of generations. It's the desire to learn and grow with your community.
My account number is only 5 digits long. What that tells me is that this is a local credit union.
Cascade Community Credit Union would like to thank you for 75 years of growth and support here in Douglas County.
Again? I'm back. Okay, I'm here. Waiting out a weather delay here at Champion Car Wash Field. Roseburg and Willamette squaring off game 2 of our Southwest Conference doubleheader. Lightning delay here at the moment. Apparently a lightning strike was witnessed, and now we get to wait 30 minutes. We are about 12 minutes away from hitting that 30-minute clock. I'm not getting updates on anything up here in the booth on whether or not that is reset on any subsequent lightning strikes. Not noticing any lightning activity from my vantage point, but I am limited to what portion of the sky I can see here from where we are at. Told you that we try and take a look at the weather information for you. Let's see here. Well, it's not raining currently, but my phone says that it's supposed to be, so maybe we don't take that for 100% accuracy there. Hey, you know what looks nice? Next week, Friday, Saturday, temperatures in the 70s, maybe a little bit of sunshine. Definitely looks pretty nice coming up next weekend as we look ahead a little bit there. But right now we are dealing with not great conditions. The radar showing that there is a couple of weather cells moving through the region. I don't always, and what I don't get, you get these weather kind of radar things that show you, and they kind of scan through a couple hours. Why does it do what happened the previous 2 hours and then works up to what it is now? I want to know what it is now and what it's going to look like in the next couple of hours. I don't need to know what it was. I don't get that. They always do that on the TV news as well. It's a lightning delay. You're going to get the random rumblings of the broadcaster here. It's kind of looking like the possibility of light to moderate rain, at least according to what I'm seeing here on my radar, from now kind of moving through the next couple hours here. Getting word here, it looks as if maybe they haven't even started yet in that Ducks and Trojans game up at PK Park in Eugene. We were checking earlier to see if they were in a weather delay up there. But they hadn't posted anything on their Twitter. Hour and a half delay for them up there, but it looks like they are underway. They were expecting first pitch. In fact, first pitch was expected to be at 3:30, so they are just getting underway there. Hopefully everything going okay on that side. The Beavers are at home against Stanford. They are scheduled to start in an hour and a half. We were hoping to get you to Beavers pregame at 4:30. I'm not 100% sure how possible that's going to be for us here. We have been dry for a little while, but a lightning delay here at the moment. We're hoping that that does not continue any further. It was a 30-minute mandatory delay, so we are looking at 3:40 as our possible restart time here. Of course, teams will have to warm up and get ready to go, so it'll probably be closer to like 3:45, 3:50 by the time we get that going. And then we've got We're only in the top of the third inning, so we'll have a little ways still left to go. So we will see where things go there. But it does look like Oregon and USC are just about to get things going or just got things underway there at PK Park at the moment. As for Oregon State baseball, I mean, they still have some time to go for theirs. But let's see here. They, on their Twitter account, have not posted anything for the last couple of hours. So I would imagine that they are still looking to try and stay on track as best as possible up there in Corvallis at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Going on across the way, the Jim Robinson Twilight Invitational happening at Finlay Field. Roseburg hosting 26 other teams in that one. Always a very cool event going on there. Our schedule this next week, Roseburg will be back to action on Tuesday when they are hosting North Medford. Is our baseball schedule coming up for Roseburg? Let's take a look-see here. They are Tuesday against North Medford. And then Saturday, they are going to be on the road at South Eugene next Saturday. And then, let's see here, the 23rd at Grants Pass. So we get a home doubleheader here and then a game at home on Tuesday next week. 3 at home before we go on the road for 3 games. And then are going to be, let's see here, they've got the 27th off, the Roseburg does. And then, yeah, they'd be at home. So they're going to be a mixture of kind of 3 on the road, 3 at home, kind of a mixture up the rest of this league season for Roseburg as they try to secure a postseason berth, see if they can make a run towards a conference championship. They would likely need to get winning Game 2 here against the Willamette Wolverines. Willamette currently leading the way in the Southwest Conference by 2 games over Roseburg, who is in second place, now at 4-3, falling behind and kind of into the mixture of the teams that were right behind them in the standings. Lightning delay going on here at the moment. Roseburg and Willamette waiting to get this one back underway. When we resume, Roseburg leading 4-0. We're in the top of the third inning. Willamette with 2 outs. And so we'll see. This is also going to be tough for the pitchers. Jackson Dowdy and Brevin Harrison, your 2 starting pitchers in this one. Definitely a 30-minute in kind of cooler conditions. 30-minute kind of just sitting around doing nothing. That's definitely not ideal for either side as we get ready for this one. And for Jackson Dowdy, it could be a little while before he gets back out on the mound, depending on how the rest of this top of the third finishes out for Brevin Harrison and the Roseburg Indians. Don't forget, the Score is your home for American Legion baseball during the summer here on the radio, as well as coming up here on the video stream. Our video coverage is brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. Coming up during the summer, we'll have American Legion baseball for you for the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts. And that'll get started in early June, working on getting that schedule put together and figuring out when all the games are. And we'll have coverage of Doc Stewart's baseball for you here on the Score. So make sure you tune in if you're a fan of American Legion baseball, if you've got a kid that's playing in these games or maybe a grandson, something like that, that plays for either Willamette or Roseburg. You might want to hit the subscribe button on our video stream there. We'll obviously be covering the Roseburg team, but we'll also be covering the Roseburg team when they play against the teams out of the Eugene area. Do need to double check. I thought I might have heard something about the Springfield team getting restarted up there. Maybe I'm not sure if I'm remembering that incorrectly, but I know that the Springfield team folded into the Eugene team up there. But we'll obviously be facing the Challengers a few times throughout the year. So if you are a fan of the Willamette Wolverines, you might want to hit the subscribe button on the video stream so you can catch the Eugene Challengers every time that they play the Roseburg Dr. Stewarts. Let's see here. UCC baseball. They are in action up in Albany at Lynn Benton Community College. UCC lost both games against Lynn Benton here at Champion Car Wash Field earlier in the week. The Riverhawks are trying to get 2 on the road up there to stay in the chase for the South Region title. They ended up falling behind by 5 games after losing both of those games against LBCC earlier this week here at home. And it looks like in the 8th inning in Game 1 of that doubleheader up there, they are tied at 5 between UCC and Lynn Benton. Our umpires have made their way back out onto the playing field, and Willamette's had a couple of guys out playing catch, and now Roseburg's going to send their team out onto the field to get loose and get ready to resume play here. So isn't that a beautiful sight to see? Let's go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back, and we should hopefully be close to about getting this one back underway. In a lightning delay at the moment here at Champion Car Wash Field. We'll take a 2-minute timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Mountain Mike's, pizza the way it ought to be.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. At Palm Wealth Management, we'll help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors, at home or on the road, at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Well, it looks like we are close to getting the all clear to be able to get back up and running here at Champion Car Wash Field. The teams are back out getting loose and warming up. So presumably we are moving in the right direction. Have not noticed any lightning activity. I didn't see it when it was initially called. I didn't see any flashes of light or anything like that, but I'm looking one way. The umpires are kind of looking back the other way behind us, so maybe they saw something over that direction. So we get ready to go. Our score is 4-0. Taking a look at your line score for the Willamette Wolverines so far. No runs on 3 hits, and they've committed 2 errors. For Roseburg, 4 runs on 2 hits. No errors so far in this one. Roseburg scoring 4 runs in the first inning. Walk, an error. A ground out to drive in another run to make it 3-0. That was a 2-run error that happened. Then the ground out made it 3-0. They got the second out on a fly ball out. Then Keegan Carpenter got on with the Roseburg's first hit of the game. But then a walk. And then another throwing error would bring in another run for Roseburg. So 2 errors in that first inning, 2 throwing errors, allow 3 runs to come in total. None of those will probably end up being earned runs for Jackson Dowdy. But Dowdy was the one that committed the throwing errors. So it doesn't go against his ERA, but it definitely would. Those are runs that he gave up because he was the one committing the errors. So that's how Roseburg takes a 4-0 lead. There's 2 outs in the top of the third with Joey Garboden at the plate, and by my count, it looks like it's 0-0 count. He does not have a strike or a ball against him. So he will be stepping up with a fresh at-bat. 2 outs and nobody on base. Garbodin has one of the 3 hits that Willamette has so far. That came a single, 2-out single for him in the first inning. And then he was thrown out at home for the final out in the first inning by left fielder Riley Cheney, the sophomore getting in his first start in left field, came up with that big defensive play. We've officially hit 31 minutes since we stopped play, so it looks like we're going to be about ready to get this one back up and running. Roseburg will huddle up and then retake the field, and I'm going to assume that it's going to be Brevin Harrison that goes back out there to keep pitching. As here comes Roseburg, and Brevin Harrison is heading to the bump to keep throwing. So
all right, looks like we're getting ready to back to baseball.
Brevin will get some warm-up pitches here, get back up and going.
Back on the hill.
Here's hoping that he did not get too cold in the process of the lightning delay. Our live video stream at 541radio.com brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. I want to say thanks to our many sponsors that help make our live sports broadcasts possible, like Roseburg Disposal, and our friends over at Chris Hubbard State Farm Insurance. When disaster strikes, maybe a lightning strike, you know, that could happen. When disaster strikes, it's good to have somebody on your side that you can trust. You can call Chris with State Farm at 541-672-3301 or visit chrisinsures.com for a free quote. Roseburg defensively. Burke back behind the plate. Keegan Carpenter at first. Caden Austin at second. Jake Johnson at third. Brooks Avery at short. And the outfield from left to right, Riley Cheney, Heath King, and Dane St. Clair. Up to bat is going to be Joey Garbodin, the DH. He will be the first man up to face Brevin Harrison, who has had a couple in the dirt here and looks to have maybe a little bit of a frustrated look on his face as he will get a warm-up pitch out of the stretch. And the throw down to second base. Here we go. All righty, back underway. Joey Garbodin with a no ball, no strike count. We are currently looking at 58 degrees in Roseburg. Might be raining somewhere. It doesn't appear to be currently raining here. The first pitch fouled back, and Garbodin will have strike one. My phone keeps telling me that it is raining in Roseburg. It doesn't seem to be raining here. But it is definitely feels like it's gotten colder and darker. There is a strike across, an 0-2 count for Garbodin. And Harrison comes out firing, looking to try and wrap this top of the third up quickly. The 0-2 pitch, low outside. Can't get the hitter to chase. There is a young lady in a T-shirt and shorts. Whew, she must be running hot at all times. It is not warm enough for that. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Throw down to first base. Garbodin will hustle that way, but will not get there in time. A strikeout to finish off the top of the third after a 30-minute delay. Brevin Harrison comes out, picks up his second strikeout of the game. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on for Willamette. We go to the bottom of the third. Roseburg leading 4-0 on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Bottom of the third inning. Roseburg leading 4-0 on top of Willamette. Trying to tell if it's raining from here in the booth or if that's just raindrops falling off of the railing over there. I kind of get the feeling it might be starting to sprinkle a little bit again. Sometimes kind of tough to tell from the booth here, but kind of has the look that it might be starting to come down a little bit again out there. First pitch from Jackson Dowdy misses low and outside for ball one as we begin the bottom of the third. Dowdy still out there throwing for Willamette after this lengthy delay. Ground ball right side for Brevin Harrison. Scooped up and throw to first by Colin Robbins is there. That'll retire Brevin Harrison to start things here in the third inning. One away. 4-0 score, Roseburg in front. We had a late start to the game because of rain. Now we had a 30-minute lightning delay. So pretty much everything you can throw at this game is getting thrown at it. 1-0 count for Keegan Carpenter. Had the first hit of the game for Roseburg back in the first. He pops one up. Foul territory, maybe playable. The catcher sliding to the on-deck circle, won't get there. That ball will be strike one for Carpenter. One count. Dowdy gets a ground ball right side. Robbins busy here as the restart to play is underway. Ground out to the second baseman for Keegan Carpenter, 2 away. That'll bring up Riley Cheney, who walked in the first inning. Still has not had his first hit at the varsity level. He's only had one official at-bat after walking in his first at-bat here today. Cheney takes high and inside for ball one. Starting to sprinkle again, isn't it? Yeah? Okay. Kind of seems like it from up here, but my eyes play a lot of tricks on me from time to time. Strike called on the outside corner to Cheney as Jackson Dowdy tries to make it a 1-2-3 bottom of the third. Just off the plate that time. Count goes to 2-1. Just a dreary Saturday here in the Umpqua Basin, and we're trying to play some baseball through it. Did he go around? The appeal says no, he did not. Cheney holds up for a 3-1 count. Oh, look out. That's exactly, oh, jeez. That is exactly the danger of playing through these kind of conditions. Riley Cheney lost the bat. It flew all the way over to the dugout. I think he got a piece of the ball. I think he might have foul-tipped it, and I'm not sure. I think the umpire might have wore a little bit of shrapnel on that one. Yeah, our umpire got nicked by that one. And so everybody giving him an extra moment to let that sting wear off a little bit there. That swing and a miss there by Cheney. That bat went sailing. I thought, oh, okay. And then it just kept going and ricocheted off the railing on the step going down into the Roseburg dugout. That does make it a full count. 3-2 pitch coming up here for Jackson Dowdy. He'll wind and fire. Hard hit. It's 3 balls right to Colin Robbins, and the second baseman plays them all cleanly. He'll make all 3 putouts here in the third. A 1-2-3 frame for Roseburg. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base for the Indians. We're done with 3. We go to the top of the 4th inning here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
I've always handled my own finances, but I need help.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be.
First batter for Willamette in the top of the 4th inning, number 24, J.C. Roberts.
J.C. Roberts, Jackson Dowdy, and Brody Butler, the 3 hitters scheduled to hit for the Willamette Wolverines as we start the 4th inning. First pitch fouled away. Brevin Harrison out there working. Now the rains seem to have picked up again. Not coming down too heavily, just a steady drizzle here at the moment. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed for strike 2. Today's game brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Foul ball, third base side, sharply hit, laser. Just back behind the bag, and that one tailed foul by just a couple of feet. Almost taking out the third base umpire there. 0-2 count. Harrison winds. Tried to get him to chase. The appeal, no, he didn't go around. I would agree with that call. J.C. Roberts walked in the first inning. Had 2 hits in game 1. 1-2 pitch here from Brevin. Ooh, there's right down the middle. That is strike 3. Watching it go by, Roberts, frustrated, goes back to the dugout. Third strikeout in the game for Brevin Harrison. Strikeouts presented by Chris Hubbard, State Farm Insurance. First pitch swinging away. Jackson Dowdy, the pitcher, had a single in the first inning. Tried to drive in a run, but that resulted in the final out of the inning made at home when Riley Cheney cut down Joey Garbodin at the plate for the third out. Another foul ball there for Dowdy, and it's an 0-2 count. 1 away, nobody on. 0-2 pitch. Bounces in. Lights definitely on and taking an effect here as the sun has disappeared on us again. Pitch bounces outside, 2-2 count for Dowdy. Roseburg hanging on to a 4-0 lead here at the moment, top of the 4th inning. Popped up, out of play, back behind home. Two-two delivery here for Harrison. Another foul ball for Dowdy, out of play. 4-0 lead. Right now, Willamette out hitting Roseburg in this one, but those errors in the first inning were costly. Pitch low, 3-2 count. Three-two delivery for Brevin Harrison. Ground ball, third base, backhanded by Jake Johnson. Long throw, but right on target. Great play by the third baseman. Jake scooped that one up with the backhand, fielded it cleanly, and gave himself plenty of time to set up and throw. Nice little toss across the diamond, easily into the glove of Keegan Carpenter at first. Brody Butler, left-handed batter, fouls off the first pitch for strike one. It feels like it has gotten colder, and I don't know if it's just because we've been sitting here longer or if it's because the temperature's dropping, but suddenly have a chill in me here. Does not feel like we are close to 60 degrees, which is what my phone was saying moments ago. Pitch taken for a strike on the outside corner to the lefty. 0-2 delivery from Brevin. Check swing. Did he go around? No, he did not. That is like 3 times we've appealed here in this 4th inning. Brevin has not gotten any of those calls. The 1-2. Popped him up. Foul territory left side, out of play. Stay a 1-2 count here for Brody Butler, who grounded out to short back in the second, which feels ages ago now. The 1-2 pitch. Again, a pop fly out of play. Brevin Harrison trying to get through another clean frame here against the Wolverines. Nobody on base with 2 down. His 1-2 pitch, high and away. Two-two pitch, belted into the air, out towards center. Heath King circling around and is there to make the grab. Finish things off here in the top of the 4th. Another 1-2-3 frame for Brevin Harrison. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on for the Wolverines. 4-0, Roseburg in front, heading to the bottom of the 4th on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Four 4-0 score, bottom of the 4th. Today's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Bottom of the 4th inning, the first batter for Roseburg, number 1, Caden Austin.
Caden Austin, Heath King, Brooks Avery. Your 3 batters due up here in the 4th inning. Jackson Dowdy out there throwing, misses outside. Just a very hazy kind of situation right now here in the Umpqua Basin as a ground ball back to the mound, gets back to the second baseman Robbins. Throw in time to get Austin at first. Second baseman busy as we resume play here. Colin Robbins has made 4 straight putouts. Heath King will bat, a lefty up to the plate. Might be another one to Robbins. at second. Squaring to bunt, pulls back the bat, taking low for ball one for Heath King, who struck out swinging in the first. Pulls the bunt, first base side, racing down the line. Bobbled and no play at first. King will get on. Tough one there for Dowdy, trying to make the play at first. On safely will be Heath King. We're going to call that a hit. What do you guys think? Error, hit? We're all coming up with, everybody's got a different answer, explanation on that one. It's going to be a bang-bang play. First pitch low for Brooks Avery. I'll put it down as a hit. They may have something different down in the scorebook. It's a pickoff throw to first, gets away. King's going to make his way all the way, heading around to third. Throw across the diamond will be collected at third base by Butler. Errant pickoff throw. King goes 2 bases around the diamond. That will be another one, another error for Jackson Dowdy. He has had, when it hasn't been throwing balls or trying to throw pitches, his throwing around the diamond here has gotten Willamette into trouble here in game 2. Roseburg a chance to add to their lead on top 4-0. Breaking ball, called to strike on the inside corner to Brooks Avery. 1-1 count. With one away and a man at third. That's Heath King. Good speed out there. Defense will play in. Dowdy. Breaking ball, another strike. Avery 0 for 1 in this one. Walked in the first, grounded out to short in his second at-bat. Time called before the next pitch. One away with a man at third. Jackson Dowdy, right-hander on the mound. Just off the plate. Trying to get the hitter to chase after that one. Avery lays off, has a 2-2 count. Trying to put the ball in play, try and bring in King. Outside, behind the plate working to keep that ball from getting away. Andrew Evans tracked it down with his backhand. Full count. 3-2 pitch, only runner on base is at third. Breaking ball, got him. Outside corner, catching the edge for a strikeout. Avery will go down looking. Make that second strikeout in the game for Jackson Dowdy. 2 down, and it'll bring up Paxton Burke to try and bring in a runner from third. Low and inside, that pitch gets by. Here comes King to the plate. He'll score. A 1-0 count for Paxton Burke. Base is now empty as Roseburg will add a run on a wild pitch. Burke hits one up the middle, fielded behind second by Cox. The shortstop throws to first. And we'll get it there in time. Boy, that one pitch allows Roseburg to get a run across. They will have a 5-0 lead going to the top of the 5th. We'll take the break and back. Top of the 5th, Roseburg leading 5-0 on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Remember the good old days? When you didn't have to make an appointment or wait in line for an hour just to talk to your teller? When businesses were local and gave back to the community. At Cascade Community Credit Union, there are some things will never change. We're the only credit union or bank headquartered in Douglas County, and making our members a priority has always been our priority. For easy and simplified banking, visit CCCU. No appointment, just come on in.
5-0 Roseburg as we start the top of the fifth. We are into the 4 o'clock hour here. Let's go ahead and pause for a station identification as we bring you Roseburg baseball here on The Score. Up to bat for Willamette, it's going to be Braden Rather. He will swing and foul away the first pitch against Brevin Harrison, who has proven he is a gamer. He will grind it out, even with a 30-minute delay at the start of the game and then a 30-minute delay in the game. That game, 9-inning game he had last week at South Medford will prove he's a gamer. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed, strike two. Might be just exactly the kind of guy you want on the mound in a game like today that has not been ideal conditions. The 1-2 pitch, off speed, reaching for it, flared out to center field. Heath King will play it on the hop. That'll be a leadoff single. Playing it safe out there. King didn't try to overdo it trying to get to that baseball in front of him. Just played it smart, took it on the hop, limit the damage. A leadoff single for Braden Rather. A triple last time at the plate for Andrew Evans, who will stand in. Swings at the inside pitch, strike one. Evans found the alley in right center his last time at the plate. It hit that wet turf and just took off all the way to the fence. 0-1 pitch here. Shows a bunt. Bunts it up at front of the plate. Knocked down. Jake Johnson throw to first. Got it there in time. And now Roseburg will rush over to cover third. Sack bunt laid down by Evans. Almost misplayed there for Roseburg, but they do get the out. Behind the plate, Burke thought he had a chance to make a play on it.
Batter's number 9, Colin Robbins.
It landed right in front of him. He tried to glove it, and it kind of bounced off his glove. He tried to recover and get back to it, and he almost knocked it away from Jake Johnson, but Jake was able to get the baseball, and with his catcher right at his feet, he was able to make a nice strong throw to first right on target. Squaring to bunt, slapping at it, fouls it away. Colin Robbins will have strike two against him. Keegan Carpenter came charging in. Out at second base is Braden Rather after that sack bunt. There's one out, an 0-2 pitch here for Robbins. Fouls off another pitch. 5-0 score, top of the fifth. Harrison. 0-2 delivery to the 9-hitter. Popped up left side. Riley Cheney drifting back now towards the line. Makes the catch. There's two away. Back to second base goes Rather. Top of the order, Miles Cox. Batting with a man in scoring position and two down.
For Willamette, number 1, Miles Cox.
First pitch of the at-bat for Harrison. Taking his time here, now sets up, delivers, and fouled off. North Medford leading game 2 down in Medford at Jim Maccabee Field. The black and blue matchup there. North Medford leading over South Medford 8-3 in the fourth inning. They've caught up to us. They had all that scoring in game 1. They got a little bit behind, but they've caught up with our weather delays. Pitch in the dirt, bounces in behind the plate. Burke does a nice job of collecting it. 2-1 count against Miles Cox. Runner going, a ball back up the middle, gets into center field. One run will score. Coming in to score, Braden Rather. He didn't touch home the last time. He came around to score, and then on appeal, the final out was called at home, so this time he made sure he wasn't missing home plate. A ground ball back up the middle for Miles Cox, drives in a run.
Number 4, Tyson Rather.
It is 5-1. Willamette is on the board in game 2. Runner going, ball flared left side, foul down that left field line. Miles Cox has had a propensity to try and take second. Swipe an extra bag. And he will have to go back to first after the foul ball there for Tyson Rather. Runner going again, ground ball up the middle. That'll take Brooks Avery right to the bag where he touches it with his glove. He was going to cover, and the ground ball was right there to meet him. And he will make the force out at second to get Miles Cox and retire the side. Roseburg gives up 1 run, but that's it for the Willamette Wolverines. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Indians, and 1 man left on base. It is 5-1 going to the bottom of the 5th here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Bottom of the 5th inning, game 2 of today's doubleheader between Roseburg and Willamette. Dane St. Clair will lead things off. He's been on base both times he's been up to bat. Last time it was a triple to center field. Left stranded at third base, though. He will lead things off for the Indians here in the 5th. Takes a breaking ball outside, ends up in the dirt. A 1-0 count to start things here. Today's game brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union. Belong to Douglas County. Squaring to bunt. Dane spins out of the way on the inside pitch. Takes for ball 2. Jackson Dowdy still out there throwing for the Wolverines into his 5th inning of work. It's 2-0 pitch. That's a strike. Dowdy has allowed just 3 hits, but he has also had 3 throwing errors in this one. His 2-1 pitch well outside. Three balls, no strikes for St. Clair. Chops at the 3-1 pitch, fouls it up and out of play. Into the grandstands, over to our left. So able to stay in the at-bat here. Dowdy with that now has a full count against Harrison. 3-2 pitch. Got underneath this one, launches it to deep center field, but this time playing back and ready for it. Out there in center, Tyson Rather will make the play. Well, over on our news partner, News Radio 93.9 FM and 1240 KQEN, the Oregon Ducks are in action after their hour-and-a-half weather delay in Eugene. And the Ducks have a 1-0 lead over USC after 2 innings of play. First pitch swinging for Jake Johnson. He airmails one out to left field. That ball way up into the late afternoon sky, into those gray clouds, comes back down. Into the glove of Braden Rather out in left field. 2 away. Brevin Harrison will try to get something started here in the bottom of the 5th. Takes up around the letters for strike 1. Oh, 1 delivery from Dowdy outside. So Roseburg trying to get a split here at home against Willamette. 1-1 pitch from Dowdy. Takes high and inside. Brevin Harrison will have a 2-1 count. If that is the case, that means the two teams will meet for the rubber match up in Eugene at Willamette High School later on in the season. So pitch low and outside, 3-1. If Roseburg can hang on to this 5-1 lead here. 3-1 pitch. Ground ball towards short, scooped up by Cox. Throw across for the final out of the 5th inning. 1-2-3 frame defensively for the Wolverines. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We are officially through 5 innings in this one. Head to the top of the 6th. Roseburg leading 5-1 here on 541radio.com and on the Score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Brevin Harrison working into the 6th inning here in Game 2 of today's Twin Bill. It'll be the 3-4-5 hitters coming up. Joey Garboden, he was at the plate an hour and 9 minutes ago when we stopped for a lightning delay. He will bat for the 2nd time since that moment. Fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. Here at Champion Car Wash Field as we're playing through a bit of a gross day at the ballpark. Ground ball, a couple of hops over to Jake Johnson. Took the drop step, played it perfectly, and a rifle across the diamond to get Garboden starting things here in the 6th inning. 1 away. That'll bring up J.C. Roberts, the first baseman. He is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout today here in Game 2. He'll hit a sharp comebacker off the mound up the middle into center field. Roberts will get on base safely for the 2nd time here in Game 2. Picks up the 6th hit of the game for Willamette, and it brings up Jackson Dowdy. He had a single back in the 1st. 4-run game right now for Roseburg. Leading over the Wolverines, trying to hand them just their 2nd loss in league play and snap their 5-game losing streak. Or excuse me, snap their 5-game winning streak for Willamette. 1-0 pitch, misses inside, 2-0 count. Harrison hits the outside corner this time. There is some activity happening down in the bullpen for Willamette. 2-1 pitch. That one, swing and a miss. Big cut out of Jackson Dowdy. Two-one pitch. Just misses. That is Granberry out there getting loose in the bullpen for Roseburg. Full count. Or excuse me, for Willamette. Swing and a miss on the 3-2. Strikeout for Jackson Doughty. That's his first strikeout in this one. Fourth strikeout in this game for Brevin Harrison. Strikeouts brought to you by Chris Hubbard, State Farm Insurance. Call Chris with State Farm at 541-672-3301. Start off with a strike to Brody Butler, who was 0 for 2 in this game. 2 away, a man at first. High and away, 1-1, even things up. Out at first base, J.C. Roberts after a 1-out single, back up the middle. Here's a soft liner towards second, picked up by Austin, who underhands it to Avery at second base to finish things off in the top of the 6th. They will get J.C. Roberts sliding in at second for the final out, and that will wrap up the top of the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. The 1 man left on. Roseburg still in front 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
We get a call to the pen. They bring in Berkeley Granberry for Jackson Doughty, who will exit the game after 5 innings of work. Doughty looks like he will be in the dugout, so not moving somewhere else defensively. Granberry, the lengthy right-hander, will take over. Doughty goes 5 innings, gave up 3 hits. 5 runs come in. Those are not all going to be earned runs against the pitcher, despite the fact that he was the one that committed 3 errors. But 5 runs total. Got him down for 3 walks. Those all came in the first inning. And he finished with 2 strikeouts. So Berkeley Granberry will take over. Granberry, a sophomore. Sports number 99 on the back of his jersey. Take over here in the 6th inning. Roseburg leading 5-1. It will be Keegan Carpenter to lead things off against a new pitcher. Carpenter, a single back in the 1st inning, had Roseburg's first hit of the game. Inside. Just missed him and just missed the strike zone. Not off the plate by much there. Carpenter, I like his style. Goes no batting gloves, even in the cold weather here. The 1-0 pitch, chops it foul, out in front of that one. 1-1 count. As we start things here in the 6th inning, Roseburg with 4 in the 1st and 1 in the 4th. 1 run across for Willamette in the top of the 5th. And some confusion here with the new pitcher on the mound. Confusion between Andrew Evans and Berkeley Granberry. Evans will head out there to make sure that they're on the same page as to what pitch is going to be thrown here. One count. That's a strike. Granberry's got a bit of a herky-jerky type of motion, a quick snapping leg kick as he works out of the stretch with nobody on. High leg kick, and then it kind of snaps and forces it down quickly. Does get a foul ball. Carpenter able to protect with the 2 strikes against him, a 1-2 count. Granberry will rock and set, now kicks and fires, and that ball goes behind the hitter. So Carpenter will have a 2-2 count here in the bottom of the 6th. Roseburg would like to add some insurance if they could. If they could put 6 runs on the board, they could end it early, just so you know. It's 5-1. Carpenter reaches for a pitch high in the zone, belts it to center field, drifting back, and underneath it, Tyson Rather. 1 away to start things in the bottom of the 6th inning. And we'll bring up Riley Cheney for Roseburg, the left fielder. He's got batting gloves on. That didn't save him his last time at the plate. Back in the 3rd, had the bat slip out of his hands. He threw it all the way to his own dugout. The first pitch from Granberry is high. 1-0 count. Riley Cheney looking for his first hit. Now has officially 2 at-bats under his belt. Called up from JV here today to add some depth in the dugout. JV was scheduled to play, but they're over at Sunshine Park, and I don't know if they're necessarily going to make it through out there with all the rain we had. Ball opposite field, and there you go. Riley Cheney gets his first hit of his varsity career and some spot duty. He came up with a big play defensively early, and there he goes, an opposite field base knock. Cheney will have the 1-out single to right field. He's on at first. Up to bat, Caden Austin, the second baseman, 0 for 2 in this one. Reached on an error in the 1st inning. 4th hit in the game for Roseburg on that single to right field by Cheney. His first pitch swinging, line drive, makes it to shortstop, throw to first, won't get there in time. Back in with a head-first slide goes Riley Cheney.
Batters number 3, Heath King.
Unfortunate there for Caden Austin. I thought he might have had a little bit more behind that one, but the soft liner goes too short where Miles Cox picked it off, made a quick throw to first base, but couldn't get it there in time to get Cheney. And hit stop on this there, Braden, and make sure it doesn't go into the Beavers. We realized we just got to 4:30 when the Beavers were supposed to start, and back on the radio side, it wanted to jump over. While that all was going down, Heath King at the plate got hit by an inside pitch right around the shin or ankle level. So he'll make his way down to first, having to walk that one off. Hopefully you caught that before it jumped into the Beavers there. Runners at first and second with 2 away here for Roseburg in the bottom of the 6th. So obviously we'll be joining Beavers baseball when we get off the air here, and it will be a little bit into their pregame show. Top of the order, Brooks Avery looking for his first hit here in Game 2. Another time called out to the mound will go the catcher, Andrew Evans. So did get word from JV coach Justin O'Byrne. They got the first one in. They win it 10-0 over Willamette in the first one. The second game did not get played, unfortunately, which sounds about right. That's about when the weather really started getting a little worse. And Sunshine Field, yeah, that's going to take a little bit of water, I'm sure, and it's probably going to take a little bit of work to get it up and playing. So thank you, JB, for the Justin O'Byrne there for the update, JOB. On the JV team, congratulations on a 10-0 win in Game 1 of their doubleheader. Pitch outside, 1-0 count here to Brooks Avery as he will step in with 2 outs and runners at first and second. First hit batter of the series here today. Heath King at first. Fouled back by Avery, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Brooks Avery last time up, it was against Jackson Dowd. He struck out looking. He's got the 1-1 count here. Swings through the pitch on the outer half. Out at second base, Riley Cheney. At first base, Heath King. Roseburg looking to add some more to their 5-1 lead. High on the offering from reliever Berkeley Granberry. Granberry, the sophomore. Two-two pitch. Opposite field. That ball could be trouble down the line. It drops in for a base hit. Avery, some contact going around first. He'll make it to second. He's going for 3 as 2 runs are going to score. Head first slide. Avery in with a triple. He drives in 2, and Roseburg leads it 7-1. Easily scoring from first was Heath King, coming all the way around. And player down back behind home. I think twisted his ankle back behind home. I was not looking to catch what happened there. But up, it's Granberry, and he's up walking away just fine. So that'll be a good sign there for him. He was down writhing a little bit, grabbing his left ankle. Did he collide with somebody? Did you guys see it? No, I don't know if maybe he just twisted it on the wet turf or if there was a collision somewhere in there. He was back behind home, backing up the throw, possibly to the plate, and I didn't see where he ended up there. That was a 2-run triple for Brooks Avery. Second triple of the game for Roseburg. That ball, as soon as it came off the bat, you knew it was trouble going down that right field side. And Avery helping add to the lead here, 7-1, Roseburg in front. Granberry, first pitch to Paxton Burke, called a strike, righty to the lefty. They've got Butler playing in at third, protecting against any possible bunt here by Paxton Burke. 2 outs, an 0-1 pitch inside. Behind the plate, Evans snags it before it gets by. Avery, you got to expect, would have been looking to try and score if that ball gets by. One hits the outside corner to the lefty. Roseburg leading at 7-1 here in the top of the 6th. A little bit of insurance. They're 3 outs away from getting a split here at home against Willamette. Ball fouled away. Stays a 1-2 count. 2 hits here in the 6th inning. Roseburg with 5 hits total in this second game of the doubleheader. The 1-2. That ball ripped to right field. There's hit number 6 and another run on the board. 8-1 on the single by Paxton Burke. Burke will drive in Avery. Brooks Avery with a 2-out triple and then comes around to score on the 2-out single. 8-1, Roseburg in front. Can they keep it going here? 7th hitter to the plate. 3 runs in so far here in the 6th. Bit of a 2-out rally, low and inside to the lefty, Dane St. Clair. Dane has put a charge behind the ball a couple of times. He had a triple back in the 2nd. His last one was a deep, long fly ball out to center field, but they were playing him a little bit more appropriately that time around after his triple earlier in the game. Runner going, ground ball, foul just down the first base line on the wrong side of the bag there for Dane. A 1-1 count. Back to first will go Burke. Would have been interesting to see if that ball had been fair, if Burke would have been able to get up and moving quick enough to try and keep moving around the bases, because that ball would have been rattling around out in the right field corner. The 1-1. Dane fouls off. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Dane St. Clair. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, the nightcap of our doubleheader. It's been a long game, too. Late start, delay midway through because of lightning. A 1-2 pitch. Runner going. Bounces, gets away from the catcher. Burke will take a look. He's going to try for third. The throw will not get there in time. He slides almost past the bag, keeps his foot on it. And a 2-2 count for Dane St. Clair, and now a man at third. A stolen base, and then the wild pitch will move Burke all the way to third. St. Clair, a 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, strike 3. They'll leave a man stranded at third base, but Roseburg does add 3 as we go to the 7th inning. First strikeout for Granberry. 3 runs come in on 3 hits. There were no errors, and 1 man left on base. Roseburg needs 3 outs to get a win in Game 2 and earn a split here at home against the Wolverines. We'll come back after this quick 1-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your 4-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
I've always handled my own finances, but I need help.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Mountain Mike's, pizza the way it ought to be.
Roseburg makes a call to the pen as Dane St. Clair will take over. Not a save situation. Roseburg has not had a save at all this season, but St. Clair will try to close it out here.
Go to the top of the 7th inning, the first batter, number 11, Braden.
Dane St. Clair takes over for Brevin Harrison, who pitches 6 solid innings. First pitch fouled away by Braden Rather for strike 1 as we begin the top of the 7th. An 8-1 lead for Roseburg on top of Willamette. St. Clair misses low for a 1-1 count. I'm guessing that Brevin Harrison moved to right field. Yep, so just a defensive swap between the right fielder and the pitcher. Just outside for Dane. Missing against Braden Rather. A 2-1 count. Jam shot fouled off. Strike 2. So Brevin Harrison goes to right field. Dane St. Clair comes in from right field to take over on the mound. A 2-2 pitch. Ooh, not off by much. Misses, and a full count to the first batter against the new pitcher. 3-2 pitch from Dane. Misses high and away. So St. Clair will issue a walk to the first batter he faces. On base for a second time for Braden Rather. 1 on with nobody out. Harrison goes 6 innings of work for Roseburg. Dane misses high for ball 1 against Andrew Evans. A 1-0 pitch. Catches the zone. Evans is 1 for 1 in the game, a sac bunt and a triple back in the second. Inside, pitch gets away. The runner at first didn't go. Braden Rather at first base didn't read it off the glove there and didn't get a break. He stays at first. It's a 2. The scoreboard reading 3-1, which is different one I had, but we'll go with it. 3 balls, 1 strike. That is the correct count, so that's on me. 3-1 pitch, fouled off. Full count for Andrew Evans. The lefty, Dane St. Clair, looking to try and get the first out here. The 3-2 pitch misses high and away, and he will put another runner on. Now, this you can't have. Now, they're up by 7, so there is room to work with here, but don't want to extend this game and throw more pitches than you need to. First 2 runners get on base. First walks in the game for Willamette since the first inning when Brevin Harrison walked 2. Quick meeting out on the mound for pitching coach Zach Mandera here. Looking at the final line for Brevin. 6 innings worked. He gave up 6 hits, just the 1 run, 2 walks, and he finished with 4 strikeouts as he looks to try and pick up, I think, his 3rd win of the year. Let's double check on his record here real quick for you. Yeah, it would be the 3rd win of the year for Brevin if Roseburg hangs on to the lead here. 2 runners on base, nobody out, 8-1 the score. That 1 run is an earned run against Harrison back in the 5th inning. First pitch just misses outside. 1-0 count to Colin Robbins. The Wolverines might be patient at the plate now, seeing that St. Clair has struggled to find the zone a little bit. 2-0 count on the sweeping breaking ball. Colin Robbins 0 for 2 in the game. Last time up, flew out to left field. Two-0 count. Outside, and Dane struggling to find the zone. There is Camden Hartzell out there throwing in the bullpen for Roseburg. Hartzell came in relief in game 1 and threw an inning. And Dane has walked the bases loaded. Well, it's definitely going to make life a little interesting here. Got a ways to go still for Willamette. They obviously haven't scored anything yet, but they've got runners on. I mean, this is the best you could hope for in this situation for Willamette. Top of their order up with nobody out. Miles Cox will bat. First pitch fouled off, strike 1. Roseburg playing it straight up. Defense playing back, nobody playing in. Roseburg will take outs 4 runs. They will make that exchange. Leading by 7. The 0-1 pitch. That ball lifted to left field. Cheney going back. That's over his head. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. 1 run in. 2 runs are going to score. They're going to hold and only put 2 towards the plate. They had a chance to maybe send a 3rd runner who was right on the heels of Andrew Evans. Colin Robbins holds up at 3rd. That is a 2-run double for Miles Cox. That one carrying over the head of Cheney in left field. Rather scored, and so does Evans. First to 3rd for Colin Robbins. And now Tyson Rather will bat. Still nobody out. It's a 5-run ball game now. First pitch in for a strike for Dane. 5-run ball game, which would mean the game-tying run is still 2 more batters away. The 0-1. That ball lifted high in the air right side. On the run, Harrison in foul territory makes the catch. He'll throw it back in. 1 run will score. But Roseburg does get the out. It's a 4-run ball game. It's not a sack fly for Tyson Rather. I'm not sure, do you still get an RBI in that situation, though? Joey Garboden will take the first pitch for a strike. 1 out. Garboden batting with a man at third. It's an 8-4 ball game. The Wolverines have cut it in half. There's a foul ball sharply hit third base side. Oh, 2 count. Dane St. Clair looking for one more out here. When we get done, we'll be wrapping things up quickly and moving on to Oregon State baseball for you. As there's a big punch out for St. Clair. He gets his first strikeout, 2 away. Needed that one there, and now the Wolverines are into desperation mode here. J.C. Roberts, 1 for 3. No, sorry, make that 1 for 2 in this game. Single his last time up. He bats with a man at third. Swings through the first pitch. The 0-1 count. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. St. Clair needs one more to finish it off here. Line drive gets into center field. We got a 3-run ball game. 2-strike approach for J.C. Roberts. Drives in a run. Miles Cox scores from third. That's the 4th run in here in the 7th for Willamette. They're making a run at it. They still got a ways to go here. 2 down, man at first. The 8th hitter to the plate for the Wolverines is going to be the new pitcher. That is Granberry, Berkeley Granberry batting here. He came in for Jackson Dowdy. He took ball 1. Little tapper back to the mound, fielded by St. Clair. Tops it over to Keegan Carpenter for the final out. Roseburg will win it, 8-5. The Wolverines made it interesting there in the final frame as they score 4 runs, but cannot make the comeback complete. 2 hits for the Wolverines in the 7th. They score the 4 runs, no errors for Roseburg, and 1 man left on base. So that will finish things off here in Game 2 of our doubleheader. Roseburg splits at home against Willamette. They will move back to within 1 game of the Wolverines in the conference standings. We'll recap Game 2. We'll recap the day and get you a quick look ahead as we wrap things up here. We'll have a quick post-game show coming up after this on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
When the first Cascade branch opened in 1948, things were a lot different here. The fact they're still here says a lot about the way they do business.
Staying in business for 75 years requires the cooperation of generations. It's the desire to learn and grow with your community.
My account number is only 5 digits long. What that tells me is that this is a local credit union.
Cascade Community Credit Union would like to thank you for 75 years of growth and support here in Douglas County.
Your final score from Game 2, 8-5. Roseburg gets the win on top of Willamette. And they will move back within a game of the Wolverines in the conference standings. Game 1 was a 5-0 winner for the Wolverines. Here in Game 2, for Willamette, 5 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors, and 6 men left on base. For Roseburg, 8 runs, 6 hits, and no errors, and 4 men left on. It'll be Brevin Harrison to get the win. He improves to 3-2 on the year. Jackson Dowdy takes the loss for the Wolverines. Well, it was an interesting day at the ballpark here today. Game 1 was obviously not what Roseburg was hoping for. Willamette came out and looked every bit of a conference championship contender. In Game 2, Roseburg responded and looked good early, but then had to battle through rain delays and battle through lightning delays, and they managed to stick with it. Things got a little interesting in the 7th, but the Roseburg Indians pull it off. For Brevin Harrison, he goes 6 innings, gave up 1 run on 6 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Dane St. Clair, not a save situation, gives up 4 runs on 2 hits, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout in his 1 inning of work. Jackson Dowdy gets the loss, gave up 5 runs on 3 hits over 5 innings, gave up 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. His run total is not his earned run total is not going to be all 5 of those runs, but it's kind of one of those weird situations where they're not earned runs on the pitcher because there were errors that helped things progress, but the errors were committed by the pitcher. He had a couple of errant throws in the 1st inning, another one in the 4th inning, and they were costly, allowing Roseburg to score some runs and build a big lead that Willamette was unable to overcome. Berkeley Granberry pitched the 6th inning. He gave up 3 runs on 3 hits in that 6th inning of work. Roseburg improves to 9-7 on the year. They're now 5-3 in conference play. For Willamette, they snap a 5-game winning streak with that loss. They go to 10-4 on the year. They're now 6-2 in conference play. So Roseburg back within 1 game of Willamette for the league lead in the Southwest Conference. Taking a look, Roseburg scored 4 in the 1st, 1 in the 4th. Willamette would get 1 back in the top of the 5th inning to make it 5-1, but Roseburg would stretch it out, make it 8-1 with 3 in the bottom of the 3rd, and then in the top of the 7th, Willamette got 4 runs in, but they did not have enough to make the comeback. Let's see here. Miles Cox with 2 hits, had a double, drove in a total of 3 runs in Game 2. Joey Garboden had a single in the 1st inning. J.C. Roberts finished 2 for 3 with 2 singles, an RBI. Jackson Dowdy had a single in his first at-bat. Let's see here. A single for Braden Rather back in the 5th inning. A triple for Andrew Evans in his first at-bat back in the 2nd. And those were your offensive numbers for Willamette. For Roseburg, 6 hits in this one. Brooks Avery with a triple to right field. Scored 2 runs on that one. He scored twice in the game as well. Paxton Burke ended up with a hit, an RBI in the 6th. Dane St. Clair had a triple in the 2nd inning, finished 1 for 4. Jake Johnson had an RBI ground out, goes 0 for 3 though. Keegan Carpenter had the first hit of the game for Roseburg, goes 1 for 3. Riley Cheney had his first varsity hit, a single in the 6th inning, scored a run. He also got on base with a walk. And Heath King had a single on a bunt and would score twice in this one, got hit by a pitch in there as well. Roseburg does what they needed to do, which was at least get a split here at home against Willamette after losing Game 1. The best you can hope for is a split, and that's what Roseburg got with a big performance in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. The Indians will next take on North Medford Tuesday. For Willamette, they are on the road against South Medford on Tuesday. Those will be your games coming up here. We got Beavers baseball coming up here in just a few moments on the score, so stay tuned for that. The Beavers are hosting Stanford. We're going to get you there in time for first pitch from Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Well, that's going to do it for us here today, folks. Thanks for hanging with us through a lengthy one this afternoon. That weather delay a couple of times, that was a lot of fun. But it ended up being worth it for Game 2 of our doubleheader here today for the Roseburg boys. They get the win and split at home against Willamette. Two teams will meet for the rubber match coming up later on in the season in Eugene at Willamette High School. We want to say thanks to the Wolverines for making the trek down here today. Not a bad showing here between the two teams. A very fun and competitive day at the ballpark. So thanks to the Wolverines on the trip down here. Thanks to Athletic Director Adam Blue, Head Coach Troy Thompson, the entire Roseburg baseball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg baseball here on the score. Want to say thanks to Braden Studebaker back in the studio for the radio production here today. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for today's broadcast because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran. We'll be back on the airwaves on Tuesday when Roseburg is hosting North Medford, hopefully with better weather conditions. That'll be coming up Tuesday. First pitch scheduled for 4:30. We'll have coverage starting at 4:15 for you. You can catch the action. It'll be streaming at 541radio.com or find it right here on Douglas County's home for sports, The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.